Well, here we go again. I originally thought I needed a new wheel bearing, but it doesn't really wiggle upside down, but it wiggles a lot this way. So I'm going to replace the inner and outer tie rods. Everybody knows how to take off a tire. So the first thing I'm going to do is break this lock nut loose back here. I don't have a wrench to fit it, so I'm just going to use a crescent wrench. It's a big metric wrench, which I don't have. Now to take this cotter pin out of the tie rod end. And now this is a 17 millimeter. Oh, that's too deep. Then with a rubber mallet, I'm gonna try to knock this out. Okay, I beat on this thing for a long time and nothing was happening, so now I'm going to use force amplification in the form of this tool, which you use like this. Wow, there it went. Boom. It's just like that. And there you go. There's your problem right there. That's pretty bad. So now I have to unscrew this, count the number of turns. 1. So for recording purposes, it took 18 turns to unscrew this. Now this is actually pretty good, but I got a new one anyway, so I'm just going to replace it. Now I'll use a pair of pliers to get this boot clamp off. Easier said than done. There we go. And then the one back here is it's a crimp clamp. So I have to get a screwdriver and stick it in here and like break this loose and then pull the whole boot up, but I'll have to take this off to get the boot off. Okay, now I had to use vice grips to hold this in place, not on the threads, while I get the lock nut off. It was on there tight, but I put penetrating one on, it seems to help. Okay, now I got the nut off here and the clip. Now I gotta get this clip off, which is, I think it's destroyed when you do this. Try not to destroy the boot because I want to reuse it. There we go. Broke. And there's your problem right there. That's pretty bad. It should be much smoother than that. It has a couple of washer things back here. I don't know what they're doing. Might have to look that up because they're kind of loose, whatever they are. So now I got a special tool that I'm going to use to take this off. Here is the special tool of which I spoke. It has basically a big long tube and then a bunch of attachments that are kind of like claw ends, if you will, and you have to find the one that fits it and then put it on there and then put the thing on there, the tube. So that specialty tool ended up being completely useless, and I just ended up using a crescent wrench. So I put some blue thread locker on this. This is the inner tie rod end, and I'm just going to put it back in. There were, I don't know why, there's 2 extra washers in here. I don't think they're supposed to be here. They're different sizes even, and they're just there hanging out, and I think they might interfere with stuff, so I'm just going to leave them off. I don't think they belong there. I think somebody put them there when they did a repair or something. So I'm going to screw this on. And again, that specialty tool is useless, so now I got to tighten this with it's supposed to be 77 foot-pounds, so with my torque wrench here, I'll make it 77 foot-pounds to the best of my ability. There we go, 77 foot-pounds. And this one feels much better than the old one. It was clunky. All right, now for the outer tie rod end. But before the outer tie rod end, I gotta put the boot back on. Almost forgot that. And the nut's already off, so this has grooves it fits into. Yes. How the MKZ got its groove back. So it's in the groove back there. And I believe that's in the groove also. And since I really can't use that old clamp again, I'm going to use a zip tie, which is common, I guess. So I'll zip that around here and then put the original clamp back on here. Okay, I got the boot on, the clamps, put a zip tie back here. Got to tighten. I've threaded this on 18 turns like the other one was. Now I'm gonna I guess I need to grab hold of here with something and then tighten this down. So the lock nut. So this tie rod end gets tightened to 80 foot-pounds and then tightened so that the cotter pin lines up. I'm going to say that's 80 foot-pounds. And the cotter pin is lined up. So now I'll put a cotter pin in here and I'm done. I put the wheel back on and I'm done with this side. Okay, everything seems to be in order. That So pretty much I gotta just, this cotter pin doesn't really fit. I don't know how good these parts are, given that when I tightened it down, now the cotter pin is actually, the hole is above the castle nut. I don't know how effective that is, but at least it'll keep it from coming off. So we'll see. But it's much more stable now. There's no wiggle now. So that's good. I think it's good. I'm gonna put the tire back on and then maybe take it for a drive. All right, here we go. I'm driving it, and it's driving really smoothly. I know I'm gonna need an alignment, but at least it's not so far not clunking. Or let me see. I'm going over a speed bump here pretty soon. We'll see what it does. Oh yeah, no clunk at all. Alright, well that's good. I think it's better. I got to do the other side, but I'm not going to do it tonight. It took me 5 hours to do that. This video is going to suck too. So I'll do another one for the other side. That'll be better.